Hello, today I would like to introduce the book Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. Professor Viktor Frankl had witnessed 3 years of torment in a Nazi concentration camp, and through his experience, he was able to perfect his psychoanalysis technique known as logotherapy. At the time, Viktor Frankl had lost everything: his papers, his research, his physical freedom, and even the hairs on his body. And he was forced to survive in terrible conditions in a Nazi concentration camp with fellow camp members, Jewish countrymen. And in this situation, these people, these camp prisoners, showed varied responses. Some people decided in order to live, they were willing to do anything and everything. And they would spy on their fellow camp members, and sometimes even perform cruel acts upon their fellow Jewish countrymen. Other people decided to just give up, and even knowing that they would be the next in line for the gas chambers, they would simply not work and lay in bed, doing nothing. However, different from these two kinds of people, there were people that showed a moral exemplary response and gave their last piece of bread to fellow starving peoples, and even had the wherewithal to give warm, encouraging praises in such a dark, terrible, cruel conditions. It was through the experience that Viktor Frankl was able to realize something, that there was something in each and every one of us that was inherent and that could not be stolen, no matter how cruel the concentration camp was. This was that we, as a person, can decide who we are at all times, that authority is within us, no matter what the external circumstance. Our environment does not decide who we are, but our choices, how our responses, the ones that our inner reality decides ultimately our identity. Therefore, our freedom of will cannot be decided, cannot be taken by any camp member, by any cruel government authority. Therefore, since we are free to decide who we are at any given time, it is possible, no matter how cruel the circumstance, to live a meaningful life, to search for meaning. According to Nietzsche, those who have a why can bear any how, can withstand any how. Viktor Frankl was able to personally realize this through his experience in a Nazi concentration camp. And finding that why, that why to live, is the crux of logotherapy. Today's society, today's capitalistic society, faces the same problem. We, although in a very different way, we are prone to think of only ourselves and think of only our profits and only our pleasures. And chasing just materialistic wealth and vain pleasure is a method of losing sight of one's true goal, of one's meaning in life. These kinds of situations bear way for existential crises and loss of identity. Ironically, our capitalistic society, our modern society that lacks for nothing, and Auschwitz, where everything was in lack, both face the same problems for mankind. Humans, if they don't have a why to live, simply start dying, regardless of the external circumstance. However, if we do have a why to live, if our why to live is clear, then we can bear any and all hows. Viktor Frankl shows us this through his book, Man's Search for Meaning. I would highly recommend this book to anyone who is suffering from loneliness and despair, existential crises, and just an overall lack of meaning in life. That there is a way, that no matter that there is that our environment does not decide, but our inner self decides who we are and ultimately what kind of meaningful life we can live. Thank you for listening to this talk and have a wonderful day.